Hey guys, my name is Chu Gutierrez and welcome back to Boss Labs. Today I'm here with some friends at the studio. We got Mark Breaker, who's a cinematographer and educator. I'm also here with Kelly Mena, who's a director and producer. She produces a lot of the content you see on this channel here. We're also here with our models Mindy and Christian. And what we're doing today is we're recreating the lighting you see in some very popular paintings, but we're gonna be using constant artificial light. We're gonna be using a Forza 500 with some parabolic softboxes, as well as a couple of mixed panel lights, and some backdrop seamless paper. That's about it. For the first setup, we're recreating the lighting from The Girl with the Pearl Earring. It's a very popular painting and it's window light that we're recreating. So we're using a very, very large softbox. We have a Forza 500 with a softbox parabolic 150 and a grid attached. This is a very simple setup because it's one light. Mark also set up a V-flat with the white facing the model as passive fill. Mark also added black net in front of the lens to give a softer look to the image. And here is our result. Looking at the final image, you can see that the background just falls to black, and that's because we have the grid on there. It's cutting the lights, giving you a way more directional beam of light. But what you also see is that the light is very soft. It's nice and natural looking. And that's due to the size of the softbox and it being so close to our subject. So you can see it wraps around our subject Mindy's face, as well as some beautiful drop off into the shadows. For our second setup, we're doing the self-portrait of Rembrandt. Everyone knows this portrait. Everyone has seen it at some point, and we're getting a little more ambitious with our lighting setup. This one's gonna take us 3 lights, 2 mixed panels, and a Forza 500. Our Forza 500 has a softbox parabolic 90 with no grid, but we did attach some duvetine along the side to prevent some of the spill hitting the background. On the back, we have brown seamless paper. We shot it with a mixed panel 60 with some yellow, creating this nice ochre color. It's got a nice fall off from the top to the bottom, much like you see in the original portrait. For our third light, we're bouncing a mixed panel 150 onto the white V-flat, providing some fill on our subject. Now this really came together with the costuming that our model brought, as well as having Christian put together this awesome kind of hat that he really just used some cardboard and a hat that Mindy already had, along with some duvetine to give us that kind of shape. With Mark's lighting and the right attitude with a fake mustache and some makeup, I think we've achieved the look and we would make Rembrandt proud. For our third shot, we did a painting called Nighthawks. In the original painting, this is a wide shot, 3 people at a diner. Mark decided to focus on the 2 at the counter. We have a guy and a girl dressed up nice, but it looks like they're having a little bit of maybe not a great time. Maybe they got in an argument, we don't know. What we talked about was we're doing video for these portraits. It's a moving subject. We can breathe, we can move. So the actors got a little into it. They started brainstorming on what could have happened, and really we had a lot of fun with this one. Now when it comes to the lighting, we used 3 lights. We had a Forza 500 with a softbox parabolic 120, and this one was hanging overhead, right above our subjects. The table that was in front of them was providing a little bit of fill, bouncing back upwards and filling up the shadows underneath their chin. We had a mixed panel 60 aimed at the V-flat to provide some fill, and we had a mixed panel 150 aimed at the background. Now this one was a little trickier because we have 2 subjects filling the frame now. We have to get the lighting right on 2 subjects, and the background was also a little tricky. In the original painting, the background goes through a few different colors. So what Mark did was he got a few different colors of seamless backdrop paper, cut some of them, and we were taping them to the walls to have the same colors correspond like they do in the painting. The lighting here is dramatic, it's overhead, it's got a mood. We had our actors really channeling and feeling what this portrait was about, and we all just had some fun with it. Our fourth and final setup's kind of a bonus setup. We came into the room thinking we were gonna do 3, but our actress and model, Mindy, had this really cool green dress that looked like this dress that you see in a painting called Janine Samary in a low neck dress. And we decided to go with it. Mark said, well, we have the tools to recreate it, so let's give it a go. And with that, this is also a 3 light setup. We have a Forza 500 with a softbox parabolic 120 right in front of the subject and up high. It's right next to the camera, probably about 4 to 5 feet away from the subject. He also had a mixed panel 60 aimed down at a V-flat that was kind of in a tent shape. And that was filling some of the shadows on the bottom part of Mindy's face. The third light we have is a mixed panel 150, and that was used to get the background color that we needed. This painting has this peach orange background, and we didn't really have that as far as paper, but we did have white seamless paper in the studio, And Mark decided to play with the hue and saturation sliders on the light to get the exact color that he wanted to see that matched the painting. One of the things we did in this shoot was we basically made a custom flag. Mark had some leftover seamless paper from one of the other shoots that he had cut up. Put that in between two C-stands and he raised it up just enough to cover the light that was coming across over Mindy's head and spilling onto the background. This one was a lot of fun because it was the end of the day and I think everyone kind of felt like we were all collaborating and having a good time in the studio. And I think that's what this is all about. It's having fun. It's learning about light in a way we weren't looking at it before by studying the things that have been done before us. And these are tools that help us achieve that, whether you're using sunlight and redirecting it or using artificial light like these Nanlites.